Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Jessica.
You guys, it's Thursday. That means we had an eviction episode, Big Brother 23, and I got Jess here to help me talk about it. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Super, super appreciate it. Jessica, it's been a minute. How are you? How's it going?
I miss you, girl. I miss you. It's been a minute, and but it's been busy and
Right?
catching. Yeah, and I feel like following this season has been a job.
It is. Thank you. Now you know.
Yes, I'm like, wow. But people keep on telling me, there's a lot more to follow this season than in past, which I'm pretty sure, because there's just so much back and forth. But
there's a lot of strategy talks all day, every day. That's true.
Some a little unnecessary. I have to say that if Kylan was never HOH ever again in this season, I would be a very, very happy camper. And this is from saying, I like absolutely everybody, that's left on this cast. And so I'm saying that with the utmost respect. Just please, Kylan, never win HOH ever again.
I would love it. Let's just never do it again. I would appreciate it. Please and thank you. Okay, let's get into this Thursday episode. We're going to start with the veto ceremony because that's a thing we do now this season.
Yeah, apparently we don't tell you who's going to use the veto on the veto episode. You find out on eviction night, because that makes sense.
I don't hate it. I'm fine. We already know what happens. So I'm not stressed about it. I'm glad that they still showed us the HOH because I was worried. Everything gets pushed,
I thought this was going to be probably another endurance, maybe the slip and slide or something of that nature. But I was pleasantly surprised that we got to know who the HOH was.
Oh, yeah, we needed to know this one for sure. Okay, so we're going to see the double veto ceremony here. Kylan is going to prove his loyalty and trust to Claire by removing her from the block that he put her on with his veto and replacing her with Brittany. Alyssa's not going to use her veto per Kylan's request. I loved Claire's statement here. She's like, you don't prove trust by dangling me off the cliff and then pulling me up off the cliff that you were dangling me on. I was like, yeah, that's it.
Not only that, but don't forget and cut the rope and then cut the rope, throw me off the cliff and then cut the rope that you gave me.
Yeah.
And then pull me up. Like, that's the kicker. The extra addedness.
Yeah. This is not a way you prove the trust. I agree. Brittany's obviously upset. I do love, as messy as these jokers are, I love their amount of support for each other.
Aside from, I would say, X and his kings, this is the most loyal of they were in an alliance, called the Jokers, that everybody knew about. Basically, the one alliance that everybody knew were the Jokers. And so I do believe that. I look, as much, and I've always said this, I'm an emotional, I'm always an emotional person. I'm an emotional person, but I tried really hard to not be an emotional player. And really, the types of emotions that these Jokers just did publicly was literally their demise. This was all their own fault. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Yeah. And as much as I love Brittany, like, I'm kind of glad to see her go. I'm sorry. It was not to, Big D or Azza's game,
right?
To keep someone like Brittany.
Right.
And I was,
I mean, I somewhat agree with you because like Brittany is an interesting player, not necessarily great at the game. She's kind of all over the place. But I value and appreciate a sort of all over the place player just by herself. And then same thing with Azah. I love a lot about Azah. Not a great player, but I love that she could be mouthy. I love that her face, tells people she hates them, like individually. DF, what is he doing? I don't know. Sometimes he's funny and sassy. Sometimes he's straight rude. Individually, okay. But the three of them together, you're like, this is not good for anybody. Whoa.
This is literally kind of it. This is a joke. This is what the jokers are. These are the wild cards. And I thought that it's so interesting to see, right? That these three individuals coming together are literally a joker card. It's like
couldn't have been named better.
The irony.
Yeah.
I love all of them individually too. But it's it was just they were they're so codependent on each other, and it's not like a good game look. I love their relationship as a friendship, as a family. Right. They're going to be so amazing to get to know when they're out of the house.
Yeah,
this is going to be great, but not for what you not for what you signed up for. Not for what you signed up for. That's not what happens here, unfortunately.
Well, yes. So let's get into what is going to look like a possible vote flip here, because Claire is like, hey, everybody wants to drag Big D to the end. To me, that's a threat and a target. I don't want him coming to the end. Everyone is going to try to keep him. Let's ponder voting Big D out, Derek Frazier. Then we see DX basically doing the same thing. Like, let's get rid of Big D, right? Brittany, she's a spear, she's a shield, she's a pawn, she's all these things for us. But can we get our good buddy allies, Hannah and Tiffany, on board? Let's make sure we talk to them about it.
If they didn't get it by now, which... you have to get it by now. They just have to get it by now.
Get it.
Yeah, I'm like very, very surprised at this point. I'm surprised SB isn't in on this. SB was kind of missing in action from this.
I'm not sure where SB has been.
For
weeks.
I forgot. I forgot that she was even. I know that CBS is notorious for this sometimes, and just like not putting someone in the mix. That SB is somewhere.
Even on the feeds though, I'm like, are you paying attention, honey? What are you doing?
Well, she was paying a lot of attention to wanting to tell Brittany that she was going up, little snitch. Like,
who's going to be a little errand boy like that? Like, who's okay with this? What? Why?
I was like, why did you do that? Like, knowing the type of like chaotic energy this girl brings when she finds out she's on the block, what in your right mind would tell you on your best friend's HOH to tell her that she's going up?
I found that so odd that she was like, yeah, absolutely. Kylan, let me do that for you. Yes. Thank you, Ray, for the reminder. All right. So, obviously they are trying to flip a vote, but telling two people who are in a secret alliance. So this isn't going to work. I do have to be honest, though. I quite enjoyed Tiffany and Hannah trying to tiptoe around this all week without really any good reason whatsoever to keep Big D. That was fun. But then we see Tiffany and Xavier, where Tiffany just basically is like, DX and Claire, they're figuring it out and they got to go soon. And Xavier's like, got it, on it. Let me win HOH and take care of that for us.
Yeah, like easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's just, that's fine. I'll just win HOH. No
Sure.
worries here. There's like, you can already tell that there's an air of cockiness amongst this, this cookout.
What?
No problem. We got this. Like, of course I'm going to win. Of course, one of us is going to win.
Yeah.
Let's see how that works out this week. But
then we see Derek X sitting with, he was talking to Tiffany and he's like, are there any white men left in the house? Now, there already have been like these subtle conversations of like, only white people have left. This is crazy. Like, is there something going on? And he's saying it to Tiffany and she's acting all like, wait, what? Let's think about this. Let's count up. Huh? What? Shocking.
Huh? I don't even, to be quite honest, Sarah, I don't even know how I would have like done this stellar Emmy-winning performance from Tiffany. I honestly don't know. I would have. What?
What?
You know?
Oh my God! I have never even put this together.
No, because you know what? You can't even. I don't know. It is something very odd, right? It's very odd. This is the first time in Big Brother history this has ever happened.
Yes.
Not but one white man in jury.
If there wasn't a cookout alliance and this just happened to happen, your reaction would be like, this is history. This is incredible. That's what's so funny about Tiffany's reaction is because she's like, I gotta hide that I've even noticed this. But in reality, you would absolutely have been like, isn't that incredible? Oh my, like never have we ever, you'd be like excited about it. But they had to like pretend like, oh, whoa.
Yeah. And I would have even said like, this is so amazing. And being the non-white person that I am, although I am obviously, as of complexion am white, but I would have been like, isn't that, I was like, that's so crazy. This is history, groundbreaking. And the people who are voting out the white people are the white people. That's so insane. Like you have Frenchie taking out Travis. You have, I would have like just kind of thrown it in that way. This is insane.
Yeah.
Even the white men are targeting the white men. Like none of them got along. And all of a sudden they're just not here. How crazy.
Here's what I thought. I was like, are the Facebook racists okay? Like this segment is going to be a lot for them. They're going to be triggered. And it was tough. It was tough for them to watch, I would imagine. I'm just guessing. I'm not sure.
I mean, ish happens. We've all gone through it. Everybody has had, their people eliminated from the game of Big Brother at some point in time. I actually got eliminated from the game. I felt directly targeted because I was targeted, Yeah.
What's that now?
Crazy.
I don't think anyone's ever been targeted before. What are you talking about? Well, after that little bit there, we then see Xavier, Kyland, and DX. Everyone's got a little motive here. Let's get these three guys together. They basically want Derek to feel safe, but Derek also wants them to feel like he's not coming for them. Let's all sort of promise each other. Let's talk about future stuff. Now, in reality, Derek really never said much in this conversation, which they kept in the edit. But then you see him sort of talking about it with Claire, and I'm so grateful that Claire, first off, I'm so grateful Claire was in this episode. Yay.
She had poor Claire. She needs more. She needs more airtime. I feel like, she's just in her own little, bubble. I feel her. She has people that she can talk game to, but unfortunately, none of these people have her, her good intentions. They don't have her back, and so it's going to be a lose-lose situation for old girl. But I mean, I feel bad.
I feel really bad. She's so smart, and she is half of why Tiffany has been so successful. Like
absolutely.
The way she perceives things is so accurate, and then she shares them with Tiffany, and then Tiffany like runs with it. So any time that she can be on the show spitting facts, I'm here for that. But she gets to tell Derek, they're going to backdoor you, buddy. You're not safe.
Good for her. I'm glad that DX had, this moment where he needed to confide in Claire for this and actually have affirmed what he was thinking of, because, we are being told that he doesn't really know much about the Big Brother game. He's kind of coming in as maybe one of the people who knows the least about this game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he's actually such a quick learner, I've been so pleasantly surprised with him. And so, when he says, when they say they're not gonna put me up, yep, buddy, they're in a backdoor. Yeah. It's like, I wish someone would have told me that. Like, I wish I could have talked to someone and said, yep, that's not what they meant. Because it's true. Code. Big D will never evict you because he votes. Okay? That's how you play the game. That's how you play the game, people.
We got no e-vote tonight. It was so sad.
I missed it. I kind of missed it. I was hoping he was going to vote, and I was hoping he was going to vote himself, just for some added drama, some added spicy drama. Like, no, you can't do that. You can't e-vote, and you can't e-vote yourself either.
You can't. Just sit down in your nom chair. You're okay. Okay, so I thought this edit was pretty darn savage of the cookout, mostly Xavier, Kylan, and Tiff, basically being like, we got to go for these people. Let's backdoor Derek. I mean, Derek, like you said, he's learned the game. He has become the darling of this season. He is cross TV only viewers, internet viewers. Everyone loves Derek X. And here we have the cookout targeting him. It's very true, but I just felt like, ooh, this is a savage edit here.
I was actually hoping for some of the edit to come in with Brittany, about wanting to target her specifically because she won the Bucks. And like, I really was hoping that was going to make the edit, because I feel like for the common folk, or the ones who, what I keep on forgetting what we call them.
Casuals?
We're calling casuals. I call them common folk. I call them you
can just say TV only viewers.
TV only, yeah, casuals, common, yeah, those. I think they really deserve to know that they're the reason why Brittany's out. Like, at least a good majority of it. Like,
yeah. They are. They're 100% why Brittany is out.
She was smooth sailing. She was smooth sailing. That whole Kylan bit, whole like.
Was it smooth? I don't know if it was smooth, but
no, true. There wasn't a smooth sailing at all. Yeah. Nothing about it would have been smooth. But I truly did believe that Kylan was okay with the pact that they had, the not targeting each other. He was feeling good. He thought Brittany was good for it. But this whole 100, she's a wild card. She's gonna go for, she's gonna go for this big, for this big power. It's gonna ruin everything. I think that you just can't ignore something like that.
You shouldn't ignore something like that. The casuals should know this information, but that would require production to admit that they allowed the casuals to mess up the game of their favorite little underdog.
Well, but that's the beauty of it as well. Like, we should know, everybody should know that your choices directly affect absolutely everybody in this game. This is the whole spiel. You have a reset button, and one person does it, it messes up the whole game. You give a person the power of free will, and this is what happens, y'all. You want to play the game? This is what's gonna happen. None of you casuals would be good at Big Brother. I'm just saying, none.
Jessica, dropping the mic, y'all. Guess what? There's several casuals in the Big Brother house.
Guys. They're casuals as well. Look, myself included. I was a casual.
Yeah.
I was a casual. Like I did not watch live feeds prior to being in the house. And so myself included, my game like absolutely sucks for not knowing,
Alyssa,
what I should have known.
Sarah Beth, Hannah. They are casuals who watch the game. I don't even know if you count Hannah as one because she binged them all in research. So I don't even know if that's considered casual. She didn't even watch it live. So that's not even casual. I don't know what that is. But Alyssa and Sarah Beth have talked about being casual viewers, and I appreciated that they talked about it because it is different. It's different than like Claire and Tiff who watch live feeds and we're on Twitter, and you do learn different stuff there.
So much different.
So yes, I agree, Jess. Production needs to own up to it, but they will not do it. I was very, very happy that Brittany gave me one last rap on her way out. Thank you. I need it.
I did not think this was gonna. I was like, no, she's not gonna do it. Is she gonna do it? She's not gonna do it. Is she gonna do it?
Yes.
Good thing. At least it was only half. It was half a rap.
It was perfect. Just get me started. Then she had a decent speech. I thought Derek's was also a decent speech. I'm very picky about my speech. And as we expected here, Oz is the only one who gave her a sympathy vote. The vote did come down 7-1. Brittany is evicted. Her time with Julie was fine. She seemed in good spirits. She said her story is different. It's unique. That's true. She's happy America gave her money. Kylan's a big old liar. Let us not forget. And she noticed, I thought this was interesting. She noticed Claire fought for her and she said, and Tiffany not so much. That's interesting for a juror to take with them.
The how she felt betrayed, who she felt betrayed by. I was very,
right.
Yeah, it was very nice to see.
And then now, how do you feel about goodbye messages? Because I thought it was interesting that Azza said, I did everything I could to fight for you. And I know that sounds nice, but once she finds out about the cookout, which might not be till like final 2 or something, then she knows Azza lied to her, right? I don't know.
Well, I think that the overall, if we're just playing on words, it's like she did everything in her power that she could do with what she was allowed to do in any given point in time. Like it, I think that she could definitely maneuver, that wording. I think that she would be able to hash that out once she gets to jury with her. And then they can just hash that out. If not, if she's in the final 2 and she needs to explain that, I think Brittany might vote a little, if she doesn't know it prior to, and she gets to see that this was a whole like ordeal, might lose her vote just on pure, betrayal, like the feeling of betrayal, pure bitterness.
Yeah, I think she's going to feel very betrayed by her 2 closest people, but odds are very low that they're going to make it to final 2. So, or at least the odds are low for Azza. I don't know. They might drag him. To the end.
I honestly, you can tell how much Brittany was. I'm not going to say maybe it's a bad word to say coddled, in this house, but the amount of hyping up, in a sense, that they did to Brittany in order to have her leave on good terms, so to speak. Like she truly believes that she could be absolutely anyone in final 2, that she truly believes that she was taken out because she was the biggest target in the house.
I'm here for the delusions, Jess. I love it. give me all the delusions, but also you're going to have to sit in jury house because you were delusional and you didn't play great. I'm entertained by it. But yeah.
She's like, I mean, yes, you have a hell of a story. I think a lot of people that have gone through those Big Brother doors have had very good stories. You know, unfortunately, your story is also not the very first in Big Brother history that has had that story. You know, we do have a Big Brother winner with that story. So it's just kind of like, I get it. And you were Casual's favorite. Lot to get hyped up about, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's going to be very interesting.
She's going to be just fine. She's going to be just fine in that jury house. We get to see the HOH comp. It's balance beams.
Interesting.
Some different sizes. You got to get across in the fastest amount of time. You'll get maxed out at some point. They're going to get to hide behind a wall, which I appreciated. I don't want cheaters. I don't want to see what other people get to do. But I initially was like, oh, this is Alyssa. Alyssa is a former gymnast. Here we go. Alyssa's comp.
I did too. I was very surprised. And I mean, even if Alyssa would have gotten it, she still wouldn't have beat SB's time. I'm very impressed with the quickness.
I mean, where did she get this from? What, is she a former gymnast and we just don't know?
Well, cosplay and having to, you know, perform as, you know, an anime character would maybe be, you know, you would have to balance on your tippy toes a lot because, you know, you're pretending to be a fighter. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would that make sense? Like she's kind of has to be quick and fast.
No, but I love it.
Cosplayer.
Sure.
I mean,
let's go with that.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Cosplay, anime, something. She has learned to basically run on her tippy toes and she effing killed it. Okay. So Claire starts us off. She has a decent time. Alyssa, oh my God, fell at the last step. Couldn't believe it. That was shocking. But then, yeah, Sarah Beth basically just ran across the beam. She gets a time of 21.3 seconds, and no one can beat that. I do feel like Derek X had a really good shot if he had not, because he was so close. He was so close, but he started on that skinny one, had to restart and go. If he had not started on that skinny one and just hustled, he would have beat
Absolutely. Yeah, that was close. That was close. If had he not, and it's, I don't know. I don't know if at this point, like Sarah Beth, like felt like she had nothing to lose. She looked cool as a cucumber. Like there was nothing writing on this. Yeah. Nothing on her conscience. She's just saying, I'm going to go for it. And if I don't get it, oh well. Whereas everybody else, I feel like wanted this so bad that the nerves just got to them. And it always does. That always gets you.
Right, like Xavier wanted this so bad. Like this was his moment. This is his time. He's going to get revenge for Christian. He's going to backdoor DX. Like he wanted to do it himself. And he looked like a fool on those bounce beams. There was too much pressure on him.
Oh, absolutely.
Falling left and right. So you guys, we have a Sarah Beth HOH. This is our first female HOH. And this honestly is really, really interesting. And this is really, really interesting timing. What are you thinking, Jess?
I honestly, this, because we know that the house tends to just talk a lot. It's going to be a very interesting week. And I think that there's going to be a lot of talk. I think that there's going to be nonstop people. I think someone from the cookout's gonna leave. It will be almost, I'm pretty certain that there will be a cookout member gone unless Kyland can influence SB enough to not do this. But I think that I want to give Sarah Beth credit and say that she's not she's not a dumb player. She has had good reads in the past. So I think that all she needs to do is talk to a Claire, is talk to a DX, is talk to maybe even a Alyssa, and get someone like, DF might leave. Maybe I could see Big D being a target of hers. She wanted him out, from when he was on Kylan's. It might just be, a good, safe bet for her to put him on the block and then figure out who else is going to come up next. Maybe Tiffany's going to be next to him. They might try to convince them DX. If DX talks and is smart enough, he might kind of, without saying it out loud, say, hey, do you realize there's no white men in the jury? Have you realized how many people are in this house? And somehow if Sarah Beth kind of gets it.
I think this is very interesting. I'm excited. So here's what I love. In all of the time that I've watched Sarah Beth and Kyland, I find their relationship very interesting because Sarah Beth does not allow him to gaslight her or influence her really at all. He will give her his pitch and thoughts and opinions, and she will give hers back, not necessarily aligning with his at all. And then he will do his Kyland bit back where he tries to convince her, and she's yet to be convinced. I have not ever seen them have a conversation where she was like, oh yeah, you're right. But then again, she's never been in power before. This is new and different. But that being said, Kyland, especially this week, but this whole cookout, we have +1s, whatever. Kyland very much preaches that he has absolute control over Sarah Beth. Don't worry about it. X this morning, X and Kyland were like, look at us. We have complete control. Tiffany and Hannah can't control their +1s. Look at us. We have complete control. And I was like, this is gross. But Sarah Beth has said repeatedly over the last few days that she would nominate Azah and Derek Frazier. And she has said this to Kyland. And she said, and I would have Hannah as like my third backup in case the roulette wheel or whatever got in play. Those are 3 cookout members. Kyland has never said that to anyone else in the cookout. He has said he has complete control over her. So he actually just told her right before we went live that he wanted Derek X and Claire to be nominated. So the question is, does she go with what she wants, Derek F and Azah, or does he go with what he wants, Derek X and Claire?
I don't see Sarah Beth. I don't know. I want to give Sarah Beth the benefit of the doubt. I've been a little disappointed in Kai for doing that, mansplaining and being a little condescending, and which is very, I don't know the man, so I don't know, but due to his previous, Twitter posts and who we thought he was coming in as is very outside of that character, right? And being coming into the house, I know that it changes you just a little bit, especially when you have power, especially when you're under pressure, especially when you're around people that you either care or don't care about. It's all different. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that this is not him in real life, but
right.
I'm just really hoping that Sarah Beth takes control over her own HOH. Yeah, who she feels like. I also think that she would think that she has a good relationship, with Claire, to not want to put her up. DX might be a little bit different because of because of his old HOH. That might be a little, that might be a little different, but.
Yeah, I can definitely see if Kyland works hard enough that DX can be on her radar. She's not going to be opposed to going after DX. He's just a little bit lower on her list. Can he get that bumped out? But it's going to be a hard sell to go after Claire. She's technically in an alliance with Claire and Tiffany. It's not the super strongest alliance, but she has that in the back of her mind. Does she really want to nominate Claire or Tiffany.
Yeah.
If that, why not nominate Azza and Derek Big D, because she doesn't have an alliance with them, right?
Yeah, she has no type of relationship with them really whatsoever. Right. Like, why would you?
Why not?
Why wouldn't you?
She's obviously not going to put Alyssa or X up. She has been working with them up until teams were over. She doesn't have anything against them. So I think we will see, a couple cookout members on the block, but let's also remember we've got a roulette wheel that is possibly in play. It costs 125 BB bucks. Not everyone is going to be able to afford that.
Except for Derek X.
Derek X certainly can. And there's a few cookout members who can.
Hannah, if she gets, yeah. No, Hannah, because she will get the 50 bucks.
Yeah, let me see my list. So Tiffany could play if she gets $100, because she's down to 25. If Azza gets 75, she could play. Big D, he's down to 50 bucks. So if he at least gets 75, but if he gets 100, he's got more than enough. He could play. Hannah would be able to play. And then obviously DX would be able to play. He originally wanted to save it for the third week, but if he gets a hint that he's in trouble, then he might play.
The question would be, is he going to feel this way?
Thank you so much for the super chat. Shout out to the two most beautiful goddesses of the evening. Oh my God. Hello.
Thank you, Christian.
Yes. I mean, Jess, obviously, but I'll take it. Just being in the company. Thank you for that. And also another one. Thank you so much, Logan. Yay.
From Fallout TV.
Thank you. Yeah. So there was one conversation, or there was a couple conversations where Hannah, just trying to save Derek, she flips back and forth. Get him out next week. No, don't get him out next week. When she was like, no, don't get him out yet, she said she could make him play, waste his money on the roulette, which makes him a little less threatening. So I don't know if we'll see that, if she'll push and say, like, we don't know what Sarah Beth's going to do. You should play. You should be worried about it, and make him spend his money.
Yeah, you see, I feel like this is what a lot of them have been doing in the cookout, is kind of throwing their person under the bus to only try to get them out of the trenches again. Kind of a very Kylan thing to do, kind of throw them over the wall, and then have them hanging, throw the rope, have them grab, cut the rope. And then, like, I feel like that's common. Yeah, that's like a common cookout theme right now.
Yeah,
with their person, So I mean, yeah, that I'm hoping that she can really. If DX does not stay for this week, I don't really see how these girls are gonna how they're gonna work. I really don't.
DX leaves.
Yeah, because these are Anna. This is the man that is winning their comps.
Yeah.
This is the man that is protecting them and keeping them safe.
Yet they're willing to just let him go to the Wolves. Makes no sense to me.
I'm trying to think if, like, we do know Sarah Beth has just a little bit of villainous in her, but to what extent, I don't know. I don't see the whole Kylan random renom as a non-possibility.
He'll be on that roulette wheel. He could go.
He could go. That would be a little bit of it. Yeah. I feel like that would be a very ironic situation.
Would be hilarious.
Yeah. I could totally see that.
I'm excited about this week. I mean, Tiffany's going to be a hot mess. Oh my gosh, she's not going to be able to handle this.
You know what? She's been a little rough to watch this past week on feeds. I'm not even gonna lie. So I think that we're gonna see another very stressful week for her. I don't think that she manages stress very well. I think she could definitely be a potential to go up if she doesn't check herself, because I feel that the words that come out of her mouth, some of the, her lack of her lack of emotional understanding is I've never seen it like this. Like and then we're also like week 6, right? So on a week 6, it's like, F you. This is like a past the honeymoon phase. You've already married me. Like, this is it. This is who you married. This is who you got. I'm not showing you. I'm not trying to fake it anymore. I'm not trying to fake this anymore. Like, this is.
You kind of have to fake it till the end, though, if you want the votes, right?
Yeah, but that if what you're doing and what you're putting on is way outside of your actual character, right, then it's only a matter of time that persona is just gonna crumble. And we and I like Tiffany. I haven't liked what I've seen lately, but she has a very different way of speaking to those that she is very comfortable with versus those that she's not. Like, so she definitely is a little bit more understanding and more quote unquote fake to those people who are not aligned with her. And then you see someone like, Big D, where she's just like cursing up a storm and literally just, telling him what's up. Yeah. So she has a strong personality.
Yeah, when she gets stressed and doesn't feel like she's in control, she really loses control over her emotions, and that's when she gets heated. And this is going to be a testing week for her because of that.
And see this right now. Control. Exactly. And this right now, what Jessica is saying, that Tiff is bad-mouthing SB to Azah right now, is not what Tiff should be doing at all. Because more than likely, when you have someone like SB, who has the HOH, and that both cookout members are going to be on the block potentially. There are now no holds barred. Like everything's free reign. You are campaigning to stay on the block. If someone leaves from the cookout, I don't think that there will be any more cookout left. And that's just the way it goes. Once someone leaves from the alliance, the alliance is now null and void. They did the best they could. They start to form other alliances. And that's just, I don't see 5 of them staying. One leaves, that whole thing is going to crumble.
This is a good point. To answer Eco's point first, Tiffany first became obsessed with Sarah Beth because she thought she had a final 2 with Kyland. They made a final 2. And then Claire pointed out how close Kyland is with Sarah Beth. And then Tiffany spiraled and was like very, kind of possessive of like, no, he's mine. I can't let her have him. And then we've seen it sort of build up and get a little out of control. Like, there's no Shelly. They knew each other before. There was a banner playing. Like, what? No, too much. But then Sarah Beth did tell Kyland that Tiffany's the most influential in the house. Truth, accurate. And that if she had a magic wand, she would get Tiffany out, meaning it would be really hard to get Tiffany out. Don't know if you'd have the votes, but if I could, I would get her out. Now, Kyland didn't reveal this to Tiffany, but he did tell Hannah, and Hannah told Tiffany. So I don't know. Does an HOH give Sarah Beth the magic wand this week? Maybe that's something in the back of her head that she's going to consider this week.
this is always, emotions are always going to be at play. I don't see Tiffany off the table at all whatsoever. You know, once you've done something to someone in that house, the idea that it just like automatically erases after the episode airs is just beyond me. You know, for people to think, oh no, but that was like last week. Yeah, it was last week. And people and we're talking about, I mean, this is going to sound insanely misogynistic of me, so I apologize because I'm going to say it anyway. Okay. Women just don't forgive that easily. That this is not a meathead situation where you're just like, you punch each other's face and all of a sudden you're bros again next week. That's not how these girls play. Like, we hold on to a lot of things, potentially from like a week one situation. You know, this could be like, oh, so you remember what you did to me 40 days ago? Yeah, I remember that. Do something else that's going to remind me about why I wanted to put you on the block, and I'm going to put you on the block. You know, that's just how I feel like a majority, not all, right, but a majority of women could.
I don't know if it's because I'm a woman, but I 100% do not forget.
At all.
And I will cut you at any time that I need to cut you for that thing that you did whenever you did it.
I keep on having arguments with my husband over something he did before we got married. That's just how the cookie crumbles. And if I can, if I could still keep that over his head, I'm pretty sure that we have players that can do that in 40 days.
Is Shelly going to be in any of these photos? Are we going to get a picture of Shelly?
Oh my God, that would definitely show
How Tiffany was Tiffany going to handle that?
In her tracks, shut her in her track, like literally shut her down. Yeah.
Honestly, if there aren't any photos of Shelly, this is going to be even bigger because Tiffany's going to be like, that's proof. She doesn't exist.
This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very, very interesting. What are the odds that Shelly would be a part of these? Because technically, didn't she literally just come out like on the show? Like she hadn't even told some of her family members about Shelly. Is this not, or did I make this up?
Oh, I thought
that's what I remember.
I know she said like she kind of keeps that side quiet from her family, but I don't know if it's a complete secret.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, would she have photos of
production? Let's do
this. Shelly. Yeah.
Or there's a photo of Shelly. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm excited about this HOH for a few different reasons. I really need to see Kyland have zero control over this HOH.
Yeah, I would really like him to
just need it, kind of. Yeah. But we will see. We'll see if he actually can get through to her and give it to me. A letter from Shelly. I want it so bad. That's going to be hilarious. And I'm not going to hate Tiffany losing her mind. I mean, let's not go crazy, Tiffany, but I'm okay with that too. Actually, I'm okay with all of the Cookout losing their minds. They've been safe for a few weeks now. So
yeah, I feel like I'm very about the cause. I would love to see one of the Cookout members win this season. I think the fact that there are 6 Black House guests that are for sure at least going to be on jury is monumental and historical in itself. Yeah. But nobody, just for the sake of the game, nobody wants to see a major alliance just run the show, whether you're white, whether you're Black, whether you're Hispanic, it does not matter. Nobody wants to see if you're about gameplay. If you're about the gameplay, for the culture, for the, like, would I love to have seen like a all women's alliance? Yes, absolutely. Right. I would love to, but would I wanted 6 women just run over guys left and right? I mean, it would be fun, sure. But after a while, it's like, give us.
You got to give us a few roadblocks. Like, even
yes,
if
give us
they,
roadblocks. Don't make it so easy. This,
yeah,
I
I need a couple stumbles.
yeah.
Final 6 or final
I
5,
need
like
a
I'm here for
storyline.
it.
Yeah,
But
I need a switch of power.
yeah.
I need to see some of these people sweat. Like I
Mhm.
need regardless if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're black, if you're white, whatever. Like I need to see the exactly what you said, Sarah, the roadblock and the way you're getting around it and the drama that comes with it and
Yeah.
the actual just, the reason why you play the game, that passion behind it. It's not just
Yeah.
oh yeah, we already know this person's gonna go out, this person's going out, this person.
Right. Yeah. We need to see people sweat. No one enjoys watching people just sail to the end. It's not fun for
Yeah,
anybody.
because they're
So,
not, again, yeah, getting to the jury was enough. They're not playing their own games. Like now
mhm.
you're not even seeing gameplay anymore. It's just strategy to see how to make it to final 6. Let's get real. Let's
Yeah.
totally get real. Nobody I, I'd be amazed if they could all get to final 6. That's damn near impossible because
It is.
now you're just now you just think you're so cocky to think that nobody aside from your alliance is going to win an HOH and put you guys up
Mhm.
like that.
Mhm.
Now you guys are just
Well, and they think if it does happen, we have total control over our +1s or our pawns. I don't like that they call them pawns, but yeah, let me see. Let me see how this control works for you guys. Let me just see, because I'm not so sure about it. Please play your own game.
unfortunately it's not. And the thing is that when you get into when you're in the house, you forget that people are watching. You do. Yeah, don't let go sincerely.
That's right.
I
That's true.
mean, hardship, perseverance. Yeah, I agree 1,000%. And I think that when you're in that house, it's hard to, it's easy to forget that, because when you have something that's good and you believe in it, you're just like, I'm gonna die and live for this alliance. This is,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's not fun to watch. Now that I realize, it's just not fun. It's not fun
Right.
to watch.
Good for the culture, but also not super fun to watch. Yeah.
No,
I hear
you
you.
need.
I hear you.
Let's see a good. I mean, so Sarah Beth winning is not.
It
It's
just
not a
gives us
bad
a fun
thing.
little roadblock. Yeah. Let's see how it goes. Absolutely. I'm excited. You guys, thank you for joining us live in the chat. We really, really appreciate your insight and your questions and all that good stuff. Jessica, thank you for coming back to Nerdtainment.
Yes, thanks for having me. I love, I love chatting with you, and
Thank
we've
you.
had some good times, and obviously with our, our little draft last year that
Yeah.
I so badly did so badly in, but not all of us could be like Jolene.
Well, yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Where can peoples find you and watch you? You are also recapping Big Brother.
I am. So people can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at jmilagros plus. That's where I will do, your typical, Twitter posts. And I have a recap show called Girl Let's Agree to Disagree. We recap every Wednesday after the show. It's currently right now it's myself and Busy Blue. Hannah, who is someone who also recaps with us, she's off for a few while she gets some things situated with housing, and then we also recap the new Bachelor in Paradise, and that is myself and Kemi, who was on my season of Big Brother. So we do that every Monday and Tuesday.
Oh my God, I am watching Bachelor in Paradise and I'm here
Isn't
for
it
it.
so good?
Yes.
Isn't
Yes.
I'm so excited for that season. I mean, it's literally my favorite of the franchise.
Yeah,
Bachelor in
it
Paradise is like the OG
so much better.
It's so much better. It's hit the ground running right now. There's just a lot of
These guest hosts, I'm loving this. so much more
Yes.
fun than like
I
super
didn't
serious
think.
Chris Harrison. Like, oh,
I honestly did not think that David Spade was gonna bring that much
no.
needed comic relief, but it's just like this awkward but funny, these funny moments. And I love Wes. He's one of my favorites from, you know, from Bachelor Nation. I really enjoy him, so he's nice to look at.
Absolutely. That's so exciting. And
So
you
many
get to
beautiful people.
interview the evictees afterwards.
Yeah. So I have right now on Girl Let's Agree to Disagree, we have the last 5 evicted house guests from pre-jury. All of that is on our channel. If you ever wanted to just kind of watch the interviews happen, it slightly goes from really bad interviews to slightly pleasant interviews.
Yeah.
More pleasant. This time around, we are also doing interviewing jury. A little different because there are things that we cannot talk about as openly because they are still going about not knowing what they don't know. You know, it's not like we could really tell them about things. In this case, you know, can't really tell Brittany about the cookout if she doesn't know about the cookout. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting. But that those interviews should come out every Friday afternoon.
Nice.
Yeah. Yay. So if not, come onto the site, you know, come on to our show, subscribe, and you can expect every Friday to get an interview with one of the evicted house guests. And if anybody has questions, you know, that they would like to ask, you just let, you know, Busy or I know, and we'll take it to account and see if one of your questions gets asked.
That's so good. I'm so proud of you for getting into that. That's really
awesome.
Tamiki, thank you so much for the super sticker there. I very much appreciate it. And you guys, if you're watching later, please leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about potential the Sarah Beth HOH. Where are we going with this? The roulette wheel. How do you feel about Brittany leaving? Give me all of that. And thank you guys again. I will be back tomorrow afternoon with what we've learned from the live feeds about Sarah Beth's HOH and her noms and the high roller room and all that stuff. So make sure you're subscribed. And I will see you guys then.
Yes. Bye everybody.